Out here chilling. Just looking at that star over there. Look, let's see. Anyway, earlier I was talking about this concept of the thought bomb, and it kind of overlaps and overlays with another concept. This concept is, it's kind of biblical, but this portion of it is more kind of Jewish Kabbalah, mystical of an idea, and it's the idea of this thing called the evil eye. But in all actuality, the evil eye it does make sense. It's like, if the light of thy eye be darkness, how great there is that darkness. And it's kind of like that, having your eyes darkened to what really matters, and in a way you're kind of stuck in this kind of like petty, man, I hate that person, like, and it's leaking and bleeding out of the eyes. And I've seen this in many different ways. And in a way, this is what I catch a lot when I'm walking down the street. And there's like some old scared people give me this kind of look of like this evil look. And it's like, I don't even get why. It's like, what the frick did I do to you? You know what I'm saying? Other than just walk by and just something about my appearance is just undesirable to you, and you let me know with the face. And they covet people like me not being eyesores to them, and you know what I'm saying, or something. Or they covet some kind of society where, you know, like, we're under lock and key and gun all 24 hours a fucking day. You know what I'm saying? And that maybe then they would ease down the covetous eye, the evil eye. I mean, I've seen this evil eye get activated in people. Like, if somebody's like greedy and they see a bunch of money, like literally their eyeballs will do something weird, where they almost like, you ever see those cartoons where the eyeballs both shoot out like daggers and then go back in real quick? And you'll notice their pupil will change, like, and their whole countenance will change. Like, if someone's a drug addict and you whip out their drug of choice and they happen to be sitting on the other side of the room, you would watch their face change. Or like when somebody's lying to you, there's things with their eye, these telegraphs of evil. Like, there's the duping delight, where you'll catch a moment where they have this look of pleasure when they're kind of being sadistic in an argument or something, and these are all kind of the same freaking thing, dude. It's like that shifty-eyed person who's gonna jack you, basically, and him and his buddies are plotting on you, and they freaking can't stop moving around. Their eyeballs are going everywhere. Freaking, those are examples of, that's kind of almost like collie eyes. Like, when I got robbed once, this mother, he had collie eyes. His eyes went crazy, like a demonized. Like, it was quite, it was pretty freaking crazy. I'm not gonna discuss all the details, but it wasn't pleasant. Also, it was like, you know, back in the day when I got fucking raided, for the months and weeks, man, before I got raided, I kept getting, like, people would give me these evil looks everywhere, dude, and it was just like they hated me. And I knew something wasn't right, man, just by the environment, when people just kept giving me this long, drawn-out, evil look. And then not too long after that, I got freaking raided. And that was a very unfortunate situation, really shitty. You know what I'm saying? Well, whatever. It's in the past, and could have been a lot worse, but still sucked. And once again, and it was like all this evil came in like a flood. You know what I'm saying? But preceding it, I kept catching the fucking evil stare from everybody around. And then when I was in Florida one time, I was with my dude, and we was rolling. And one day we was going through his hood, and these people gave the same look to him, that evil eye, that they gave to me before I got raided. And it was like, I said to him, I goes, dude, do you know who these people are? And he goes, no. And I goes, man, something ain't right, man. I was like, man, you need to move out of this neighborhood. That, you know, because that's just the old fear kicking in on me, where like, they're on to me. I gotta flush my freaking stash and head to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Freaking basically, kind of this fear. Like, look, the more stuff that you have, it brings the envy of people and the jealousy, dude. And that's the biggest horrible part. That's the biggest sick joke to thinking that you're getting some kind of success in anything. Because as soon as you start to get anywhere, the crabs in the bucket, man, pull you back down into the bucket, but they pull you to the bottom, and then now they stand on you. You know what I'm saying? And it was all designed to do that. Like, freaking, and it's kind of a big dupe and a sick joke. And it was unfortunate, but I could see the evil eye shooting out of people, and it was in procession of like weeks before this went down. So, you know, in some cases, you know, some people might say, oh, you shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't be selling pot. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people would say, but that's how sometimes people make a little money on the side. And it sucked to see it, call it out, tell the dude, warn him, and then he didn't heed the warning, and then because when I had a lot of love for that dude, so it was unfortunate because I just went through that myself, like prior to that, so I know exactly what it was all about. But it was really worse for him. Like, seemed like he was always getting freaking the short end of the stick, man, every time by the law. And that's another people you will catch the freaking most evilest eyes from is the police officers when they're profiling people. And it's like what they're doing is they're looking at you like food, like money, like coveting, like they want to give you a fucking ticket or something. They want to rough you up and see what you know. Like, look, and that is the evil coveting eye, the evil eye, like literally. So, and when you're a hustler or you know con artist, these people all get that kind of this wolf-like. Once they smell blood, they just can't help but go all the way in for the kill. Like they're so programmed up in their narcissism that once it's triggered, there's just no going back. Then they're gonna go through with whatever their fucking their con game is, their con job, and but you'll definitely see that it's either because they're jealous about something or they want something and they feel entitled to it. So since you won't comply to their demand, well, the next thing to do is to bring you down by, by basically it's publicly humiliating you. When you call the police or the fucking CPS or something on somebody and they get dragged out of their fucking house, or it's embarrassing. So the narcissist bullies use these retaliatory tactics to get revenge for perceived slights to like they lost face because look, your mask fell off, you're exposed as a user and abuser, but now you got to hurry up and make a freaking scene somewhere else so to get cover for yourself to escape. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're too blown up, people will see you coming a mile away and you won't be able to run your con game no more. So you gotta put in a lot of work covering your freaking tracks. These type of people do. It's like, it's crazy how much work they put in, like freaking gossiping, like, and leaking information intentionally skewed to spin the narrative to make them look innocent or look like the victim, and then like basically hang the rap around somebody else, some innocent person they're using in triangulation against other people to basically have an alibi. Like, I mean, it's freaking, it sucks that this is how people are, but and this is the world we live in, and I got to deal with like these types like frequently, and like throughout my lifetime, and just in the course of a freaking day. I'll probably encounter a few narcissists just on the road, like some driver who cuts you off or gives you the finger for no freaking reason, like trying to dump their emotional garbage on you by proxy. You know what I'm saying? Through ambient abuse, like, or environmental ambient non-verbal abuse. I mean, it's crazy, but there's all these evil eyes just shooting around. It's like a big crossfire. And then you got the freaking people watching you through the computer cameras. And I mean, look, they could just be looking at you like, man, I hate that dude's shoes. And then you'll go get in a car accident because this person, their negativity made a fucking doorway for a spirit to attack a person. Like from afar, like remote. Spooky action at a distance. I think I heard like a Black Ops military expression of people with psychic warfare, basically. So, I mean, the stuff is all, like, documented, and, like, that people do dabble in this stuff, and they have got some pretty spooky results. I mean, so, and in my own life, I'm, like, seeing this stuff on a daily basis, like, and I have for years. I fell victim to the evil eye. And then, I've even walked around with the evil eye at times in my life, freaking just being, like, kind of greedy and, like, always looking somehow to, like, get some more. Being overly ambitious makes you freaking an asshole sometimes and a narcissist and self-centered. So when you live in that way, it's going to open doorways for the stuff to backfire on you all the time, too. And you know what I'm saying? And that's basically where I was at with it way back then. But now, like, looking at it all in retrospect, I mean, there's definitely a metaphysical, spiritual component just going on. Like I was saying in this other video earlier, the power of observation. So, by the intent behind the reason you're observing also can change the object in itself, because the object is just particles. So, they can be manipulated. Like, they're actually not solid. They're just close. It looks like they're solid, and they feel like they're solid, but really everything is really porous. It's weird. But that power of observation with evil intentions can harm a person. And then ultimately, it's poison on yourself, too. You're only darkening your own heart and your own mind by practicing in a way, it's like being negligent and undisciplined with your thoughts and with your emotions and with your heart. And it's not checking yourself before you wreck yourself or before you wreck somebody, which is worse. Well, then you're doubly guilty. It's kind of a sin to make a mistake so bad, like that's something that could avoid it and get yourself hurt. But it's even worse when you're negligent and your responsibility gets others hurt too. And that's why when you're running around all wild, it's like you're shooting beams at people. And you're also like, look, their beams can sink right into you a lot easier too, because it's like you're running around like not armored up. So, it's crazy, but you ain't gotta believe me if you don't want to. You can go ahead and watch somebody else's channel, but this is the type of stuff I like to talk about. I like to talk about like crazy stuff, like woo, spooky dooky, and crypto crazy buddy, and ESP freaking psychic psi soldier type stuff. I mean, all this stuff. There's a lot of information. This is all documented in many areas, dude. That it's a real phenomenon. It's a real sought after and facilitated. Like, look, these people actually train people in this and recruit people to do this for them. Like really, and if it didn't work, why would they pay people a lot of money and have all these secret projects, man, to make this stuff happen if there wasn't nothing to it? And that's why it's kind of, you gotta cast down vain imaginations. And that's part of it, is you gotta realize how the brain works, the imagination, and it's just prone to go awry. And you kind of gotta, it's like a crazy wild horse running around, and you gotta get your freaking lasso around its neck. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll freaking go crazy on you. It's kind of how our mind can work sometimes. And they're taking advantage of that. that commonality about people.